So polynomials, we're going to be getting into those little by little, but go down to number 13. And one of the things you need to know is about combining like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variables with the same exponent. And so as you're doing these, you might have had several different ways when you were younger to learn it. Sometimes you lined it up with the common terms. Sometimes you just found the ones that matched. So I am going to just try to find the ones that match here. And we're going to always start with the highest exponent. So you have x to the fourth. And do you have any other x to the fourth to go with it? Good. So what we're going to do is combine our 2x to the fourth and it's not a 7, it's a negative. Good. So positive 2x to the fourth and negative 7x to the fourth makes negative 5x to the fourth. Now you go down in exponents. What's the next highest exponent you see? Exponent of 3. So we have this one. It's a negative 1x to the third. And we have this one. Is that right? A positive 8x to the third. Negative 1 positive 8 makes 7x to the third. Good. Okay, this is not like multiplying. These are plus signs and minus signs in between, so it's a different rule than the last chapter. This is just combining and adding the terms together. And so then, yeah, this is like review. So then the last one would be, whoops, so the x to the second. So you'd have a negative 2x to the second and a positive 2x to the second. What does that become? Good. When you're adding, it becomes a 0. You don't have to write in plus 0. Okay, when we were multiplying, it canceled out to 1. When you're adding, it cancels out to 0. So this would be your answer. All right, of course, you have to remember this that you did from younger grades. Whenever there's a minus sign, what is that minus sign touching over here? All of it. That's right, the parentheses, not just the 6. So you have to make a negative 6. Yeah, and I'm just going to do it the way that they probably did it when you were younger. Make this a plus, and then change all the signs. Minus, positive, positive. And then you can start with your highest exponent and start combining the like terms. So the highest one, is that a 4 right there? Negative x to the fourth and positive x to the fourth. It's gone. We don't have to write anything for that. What's the next highest one? X, yeah, x to the first, just a plain old x. And so we have negative 4x and a positive 7x, and we get 3x. And then we have left over a positive 8 and a minus 6, so our answer would be plus 2. Any questions on those? All right, a couple more just to make sure that you got this down because we're going to be using that in our new lesson for today. So the first thing you should notice here is that you have a plus and you change all the signs. Some of us forget about that, but I know you saw that before. That negative sign is touching the parentheses, so that negative sign goes on everything with the parentheses. That's right. And you only change the numbers that are included in the parentheses that come after it. All right, so I'm trying to see. So what's the highest exponent there? 3. We have 5a to the third, and we have 2a to the third, and that makes 7a to the third. The next one's highest exponent is 2. Good. So we have 3a to the second. It's positive now, and 1a to the second. You guys, so 4a to the second, good. And then we have 4a and negative a. That's going to become 3a. And then we look for anything that doesn't have an a at all. Is there only one of those? Plus negative 4, right? There's nothing else that combines with it, so then we just write it like that. Try number 16 right now on your own. There's no plus sign in front of any negatives now. There are minus signs individually, but not touching any parentheses, so none of the signs change. Let's see what you got. Did you get 7x to the 4th, 4x to the 3rd, plus 6x, and minus 7? All right, we'll finish more on that with warm-ups throughout the time. Right now, flip over to 11-2a, multiplying polynomials. 11-2a, please make sure you're on the one that says a, multiplying polynomials. There's two things to do, and this is combining the last chapter with our new chapter. You multiply the coefficients, because this 5x squared out in front is right next to the parentheses, and that means times. When there's no sign in between them, it means multiplication. But then you add the exponents as you're going. You're basically just distributing. So what you're going to do is 5a squared times 3a squared. Okay, write this out for this example. You don't have to write it out every time. I know there's times when you're going to do it in your head. But for this example, write it down. You're taking 5a squared times 3a squared. And then what are you multiplying next? Times 2a. So then you're doing this one. And then lastly, you have to do 5a squared times 8. Good. So you're just distributing the 5a squared. And now it's just like the last chapter. You multiply the 5 and the 3, you get 15. But what do you do with a squared and a squared? Add them. You get 15a to the 4th. Okay, so this is just a two-step thing, and I know you've seen it. 5a squared times 2a. You multiply the coefficients, the 5 times the 2, but then you add the exponents. So it's going to be 10a to the 3rd, because there's an imaginary 1 right here, 2 plus 1. And then lastly, 5a squared times 8, multiply the coefficients. 5 times 8 is 40. But a squared and no other a squared go with it, just stays a squared. Okay, any questions on that? Let's do these simple ones. We'll go down the left-hand side, and then you're going to do the right-hand side. So number 1. Okay, so you take the 3 outside and you multiply it, you distribute it to everything that's inside. So what you're really doing is 3 times 9b, 3 times 9 is 27, and then the b doesn't have anything, no exponents to add with it. And then plus 3 times 2 is 6. Just be careful that you multiply the coefficients and you add the exponents. So this one, it looks like 6 times 6, and that's going to be 36, and then we have n to the what? Say it again? To the 3rd, and then also times m to the 2nd there, so what's the total going to be? M to the 5th. You multiply the 6's, you add the exponents, n to the 5th. And then we have 6 times negative 5. Negative 30, but then we have m to the 3rd and m to the 1st. Good, m to the 4th. And then we have 6m to the 3rd times negative 7. So we multiply the coefficients. 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. N to the 3rd and no m at all. Add that together, you get n to the 3rd. Okay, so just be careful about the exponents. That's going to be the hardest part, is just the exponents. Number 5. Number 5 is the same thing. It's just written a little bit out of order, but these parentheses is still times the 7x. So take the 7x times everything inside the parentheses. 7 times 3 is 21, and then we have x squared times x. X to the 3rd, good. Then we have 7x times negative 8x. 7 times negative 8, negative 56, good. And it's x and x. What does that make? X squared, good. 1 plus 1. And then we have 7x times negative 8 that's just going to make negative 56x. Number 7. 6x to the third times all of these. Let's go through these quickly, please. 6 times 5 is 30. X to the second times x to the third. X to the fifth. Good. 6x to the third times 5x. Tell me what that is. 30x to the fourth. Good. And then 6x squared. 6x to the third minus 7. Good. Okay. Now, number 9 is only slightly different. Look at it before we get to it. Think about what has to happen there. Don't say it out loud. Just think about what's happening there. What did you notice? There's 2 things to distribute. That's right. So we're going to do this one times this one, and then we're going to do this one times this one, and we stop because the parentheses stop. So it's going to be 10. Basically, it's 10 times 1. V to the 9th. Thank you. Minus 10 times 7 is 70. Then we have v to the 6th. But now it's a plus sign, and we have a number times parentheses again. So you have a double distribution to do here. So it's going to be 2v to the 5th times v to the 4th. 2. Quiet, please. 2v to the 9th. And then minus what? 6 what? That one. So now we look to see if there's any terms that are the same. That's the difference. You have to distribute, but now you're going to actually notice some that match. 10v to the 9th is going to match with what? Is there a mistake back there? So then that would make, give me one second. 12v to the 9th, and then minus 70v to the 6th, and then okay, that's what you do. Last one together, number 11. The trick is that your distribution stops when the parentheses stops. There's 2 things to multiply, and you have to do each one carefully. Okay, so I'm looking at the one that I can see here. So it's 2 times 5. Good, 10v to the 6th. And then we have plus something in front of that. Don't forget the 2 times the 4 as well. Help me out with this one. 2 times 4 would be? And v to the? 2 plus 3, right? 5. And then this one times this one. Multiply the coefficients, add the exponents. So 6r to the 4th. All right, this one though, be careful. It's a negative v. You can go and change all the signs, or you can just remember that you're doing a negative 1 times a 5. That's going to be a negative 5. Because the v looks like higher than me. Negative 5, let me write this one, v to the 5th. Negative 5, v to the 5th, minus 2, v to the what? And then, last one, minus v to the 3rd. Good. If there's a number in front, you don't have to distribute that negative sign. You just have to include it along with the number. You're multiplying a negative here times the positives in there. Now look for what can combine as like terms. There's no other 10 to this or v to the 6th, is there? All right, so we're going to start with 10v to the 6th. And when they start to get long, I cross them off when I'm done with this so I don't forget. And then you have your v to the fifths. That would be 8v to the fifth minus 5v to the fifth. So what we have is good. And those are done. So then we go down to v to the fourth, go in smallest or from highest to smallest. Positive 6v to the fourth, negative 2v to the fourth, 4v to the fourth. Plus 4v to the fourth. And then the last one has nothing to combine with, so it stands alone. Okay, any questions on that? The hardest part is going to be remembering to multiply the coefficients, but only add the exponents. All right, take yourself about 5 minutes and do the right-hand side of the page. You should have had 6x to the third plus 12x squared. Go back to your notes just for a second. Number 4, 30k squared plus 12k minus 12. Questions on those? Number 6, 15a to the fourth, 10a to the third, 40a to the second. And number 18 would be 84x to the third plus 48x squared minus 72x. 9 and 10. Sorry, number 10, I mean. Should have come out to be 7k to the fifth minus 10k to the fourth. And number 12 should have been 96 end of the seventh, 84 end of the sixth, minus 12 end of the fifth. Any questions? Okay, your homework is problems just like these. It's available online. When you finish IXL, you can start in on the homework. You've got about 20 minutes, so get as much done as you can.